Look at the tape from the 2025 season and try to tell me you see a defensive line that has a soul. Walk into the locker room at the Star right now and you will smell the desperation of a franchise that has forgotten what it means to strike fear into the hearts of an opponent. For years, we leaned on the natural brilliance of Micah Parsons, thinking that one generational talent could mask a lack of fundamental discipline. Then, in a move that I'm still dissecting with a heavy heart, Jerry Jones decided to trade away our greatest defensive asset to Green Bay. We got the picks, sure. We got the financial flexibility. But we lost our identity. We became a team that plays polite football, and in the NFC East, polite football gets you a one-way ticket to the bottom of the division. I'm Carlos Eduardo, the lead analyst for America's team, and today we are having a blunt, unfiltered conversation about why the ghost of our past mistakes is finally forcing Jerry's hand. The reports coming out today aren't just rumors. They are a direct indictment of how far we've fallen and a glimmer of hope for how we can rise. Max Crosby, the Condor himself, is officially disgruntled in Las Vegas. And according to the latest whispers from Grant Cohn and the verified frustration reported by Jay Glazer, the Dallas Cowboys are at the very top of his wish list. My analysis of this is simple. This isn't just a potential trade. It is a mandatory rescue mission for a defense that is currently drowning. What I see on the film from last season under our new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, is a scheme that is desperately crying out for an alpha. Parker is trying to implement a sophisticated, coverage-heavy system that relies on gap discipline and winning the money downs. But you can't win those downs when your pass rush is about as threatening as a preseason walkthrough. We were number 31 in scoring defense. We allowed teams to bully us in the trenches. If I'm being honest with Cowboys fans, watching our defensive ends struggle to set the edge last year was like watching a tragedy in slow motion. We lacked the clutch factor. We lack that dog-on-a-leash mentality that defines the greats. Now, compare that to Max Crosby. I have spent hours studying his snap count and his motor. The man signed a 3-year, $106.5 million extension with the Raiders and still plays like he's trying to earn a roster spot. That is the star on the helmet standard that Tom Landry demanded and Jimmy Johnson perfected. When I look at Crosby, I don't just see a stat sheet. I see Charles Haley. I see that same disruptive, borderline obsessive energy that transformed the 90s dynasty from a good team into a legendary one. Haley was the missing piece that pushed Eichmann, Emmett, and Irvin over the top because he made the other team's quarterback feel unsafe in his own stadium. That is exactly what Crosby would do for us at Jerry World. The situation in Las Vegas has turned toxic, and frankly, I don't blame him. According to Glazer, Crosby was furious when the Raiders shut him down due to a knee injury at the end of the year. He wants to play. He wants to win. He has zero interest in another rebuild, which is exactly what Vegas is doing now that they've secured the top pick to draft a guy like Fernando Mendoza. Crosby is 28 years old. He is in the absolute prime of his physical existence, and he knows that his window for a Super Bowl ring won't stay open forever. He wants the bright lights. He wants the pressure of America's team. From my perspective, this is the ultimate test for Jerry Jones' legacy. We've heard the all-in rhetoric before, but it usually ends with us signing a veteran on a 1-year deal who is 3 years past his prime. This is different. This is a disgruntled superstar who has explicitly named Dallas as a preferred destination. If Jerry doesn't pull the trigger on this, then he is admitting that the Parsons trade was a white flag. We have the draft capital, we have the need. What we need now is the courage to be aggressive. Think about the tactical shift. Christian Parker's defense thrives when he can drop 7 or 8 into coverage because his front 4 can create organic pressure. Last year, we were forced to blitz constantly just to get the quarterback off his spot, which left our secondary exposed. We saw it against the Eagles, we saw it against the Giants. Teams just waited for the blitz and picked us apart. With Crosby on the edge, the math changes instantly. You have to double team him. You have to chip him with a tight end. That frees up the interior, gives our young linebackers room to breathe, and allows our defensive backs to play with the ball-hawking aggression we saw during the Dan Quinn era. The salary cap strategy here is complex but manageable. Yes, Crosby is expensive, but the cap is a tool, not a cage. We've seen the Eagles and the Niners manipulate their books for years to keep their triple threat intact. If we bring in Crosby, we aren't just buying sacks, we are buying a culture. We are telling the locker room that the standard is no longer just getting by. We are telling the NFC East that the road to the playoffs goes through Arlington again. I've lived through the highs of the 90s and the crushing mediocrity of the early 2000s. I know what a championship-caliber defensive line looks like. It looks like relentless pursuit, It looks like gap discipline that doesn't break under pressure. It looks like Max Crosby. When I imagine him walking out of that tunnel at AT&T Stadium, with the silver helmet gleaming under those LED lights, I see a defense that finally has its teeth back. This isn't about being a news reporter and telling you he might come here. This is about me telling you that if he doesn't, this franchise is failing its fans. We are the most valuable sports franchise on the planet, yet we've spent the last year acting like we're in a small market rebuild. It's time to stop the excuses. It's time to leverage the legacy of the star. The pursuit of the next Super Bowl ring isn't a marathon anymore. It's a sprint, and we are currently wearing lead boots. Max Crosby is the key to unlocking the shackles. He is the alpha we threw away when we traded Micah, and he is the only player available who can immediately restore the America's team aura. Jerry, the ball is in your court. The world is watching, and the Condor is waiting for your call. Let's quit playing around with mid-tier talent and bring a real predator to Dallas. It's time to win, and it's time to do it with the violence and precision that this franchise was built on.